welcome back to BookTube with Amy. Today we have a rather lengthy haul.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
It is the biggest haul that I have ever done on the channel, and probably will be the biggest I will ever do on the channel. So get a drink and a snack because I feel like it's going to be a long one. So Simon won a competition and he got Amazon vouchers and we split them and bought nothing but books, which was very ridiculous. When we could do
our new table.
And our new table, okay, in fairness. We could have bought, you know, house stuff that we actually needed to live and furnish our new home, and we didn't. We just bought books, but it's fine. And then I also received some late birthday presents that I'll talk about. I bought a new purse and clearing out my old purse realised I had Waterstones vouchers, and so I bought some books with those. And then I mistakenly joined a Facebook group which was for people who are like buying, selling and swapping their used books, because as you know, most of your collection is used. I say it all the time, like in every other video, and we do charity shop hauls. We're there quite a lot, but there's some books recently when I've been going to the charity shops they just haven't been having, and I do like buying them new and used through Amazon. I really don't mind that, but I thought I'd have a wee look and see if I could swap out anything that I was going to on haul that for like new books that I could read. And well, I've done a couple of them. I've mainly bought stuff.
I looked through all of those in this one video.
Yes, they're all my new books and I'm going to go through all of these in one video.
Put in an advert break in the middle for folk to have a pee.
It's not that bad.
It's that bad.
It's not that bad.
If you've not got snacks, pause, get snacks, make sure you're comfy.
Thanks for your support. So the first category that I am going to go through, and yes there are that many, I have them split into categories, is standalone hardback books that I've purchased. So the first one I have here is Starfish by Lisa Phipps, and I bought this because I'm going to take part in Jess from Lady Lovestead Reads Middle Grade Secret Society, and this is the first book that we are going to read as a group. She has a Discord for it. I will link her announcement video and everything in the description down below if you're interested in checking that out and joining us to read this. But it sounds right up my street and it was already on my wish list, so what an excuse to buy it. Thanks, Jess. Then this one I actually purchased new. I'll specify the books that I have bought new because everything else is used. So this is one of the ones that I got from Waterstones with my Waterstones vouchers, and that is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. It's been on my wish list for a wee while, and then as part of the Queer Lit read along that I always aim to take part in and never do, this was going to be their buddy read for it. So I purchased it with that in mind and then didn't get round to it because I've been too preoccupied trying to get all my reads in for Marvelathon. So it's just a cute wee queer graphic novel and it looks fantastic. It is sort of feel like a villain story, or main character is a villain, which we know I love a villain, so I am really excited to get around to that. This one is the other one that I bought with my Waterstones vouchers, and this is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea with Axio. I don't think Axio was there. I haven't read the book, so I can't confirm or deny, but I'm fairly certain she wasn't, and I'm just rambling pish. So this just looks really good. It's so beautiful as well, and it looks watery. I like a book that is set near or in water, being a mermaidy kind of gal. So I just think that this sounds absolutely fantastic. It gets so much hype, so much love. I'm fairly certain this is a standalone. I couldn't see anything signifying that there was going to be another book in this series, so hopefully I've categorised this right and that I can read it soon. Then this is one that Simon bought me new from the works, and that is Shagged, Married, Annoyed by Chris and Rosie Ramsey. I really like their podcast of the same name, and they recently just did a talk show called the Chris and Rosie Ramsey Show that was on the BBC, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I just think they're hysterical, I really like their humour, and I think that this will be a really funny wee read. Then lastly I bought Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. So I have been so on the fence about this book, so on the fence about it. I love Shakespeare and I love Hamlet, and obviously this is relating to Shakespeare and Hamlet and I know that this is about like the life of William Shakespeare and his kids and stuff like that, and I feel like it could be either that phenomenal that I will adore it, or I'm just going to think it's dull and dreadfully boring, and I just don't really know what it is, because I know that the writing in here is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. I am not a fan of like flowery writing, really. I say it all the time, but I label myself an instant gratification reader. Like, just get to the point, tell me what's happening, I need to know. But Danny, she recently hauled a copy of this, or she was just showing it on her channel, I can't remember what, but she read it and she thoroughly loved it. It was in one of her vlogs and she showed the underside of it, and it was this gorgeous hardback copy, and so I was like, I need that in my life, it is stunning. And I did buy it for that reason. But then Liv over at Endless Pages, who I will also link down below, she recently hauled this also and was sort of for the same. She had heard loads of people talking about it, wasn't sure if it was for her or not, so she bought it. So I'd say to her, well, I'll get a copy and we can buddy read it together, because I am in the same boat, so we'll be buddy reading this together at some point. And then lastly, in the hardback standalones, I got an Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I have wanted to read this book for a wee while. Again, it's been on my wish list for ages, and somebody was selling it on one of the Facebook groups, so I decided to snap it up because I was getting it for a couple of quid. I loved Vespertine. It was one of my favourite books of last year, so I'm really excited to read some more of Margaret Rogerson's works. I don't have Sorcery of Thorns yet, but I want to check that one out as well, because I just think I'm absolutely going to love it, and the cover is seriously stunning, and I love that it's got this like sort of a metallic-y sheen to it. It's just gorgeous. So next we will go into the paperback standalones. On top of my paperback standalones is a hardback standalone, because I have miscategorised.
I've done it now, it's too bleeding late. What are they gonna do? What's gonna happen? Gonna shoot me? I doubt it. They have to catch me first, I'm like a whippet.
And that is Turbulence by David Zali. This is the one that I actually picked up for myself. Simon got this for himself with some of the vouchers, and I thought it looked good, so it is also in my pile to read. By the way, anything that we bought through Amazon, anything that I purchased through Amazon was used, apart from a couple that I got new to support indie authors that I'll tell you about as well. Next up, I got Manhunt by Gretchen Fielker Martin, and I did buy this one new because I wanted to support a trans indie author. This looks amazing, right up my street. Can't wait to dive into some like end of the world horror. It gets so much hype. This was on my radar. Can't remember who mentioned it originally, but Kevy over at See Kevy has absolutely raved about this book and says it was phenomenal, and so I had already wanted to read it, but even more so based on her recommendation, so I want to check this one out. And then I got The Deloriad by Missouri Williams. This is like a end of the world cannibal-y, incesty, fucked up book, and it looks phenomenal. This was one I also purchased through the Facebook group, and this is The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. Simon already has a couple of CJ Tudor books on the shelves and he really enjoyed them. This isn't something that I would normally pick for myself, but it sounds like it could have like a bit of a horror-y twist, or at least like potentially supernatural elements, and then it might just be a mundane thriller, but we will see. I was looking forward to it and it was on my wish list, and if I don't enjoy it, Simon will. And then I got The Flatshare by Beth O'Leary. Again, not a very me book, however I have been exploring some romance books recently. I read The Love Hypothesis and really enjoyed it, and I read Verity by Colleen Hoover, which was more a thriller than a romance, but she's predominantly a romance author, so I decided to give another couple a go, and this is one that I also got through the Facebook page. This is one that I did purchase new, and that is Daryl by Jackie F. This is about a man called Daryl, and he is into cockholding, and Ange from Angie's Book Chatter and Scott and Nell from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot have peer pressured me into buying and reading this book, and I can't wait for it because I think it's going to be great. And then I got Heckless Children by James Brogden. This has been on my wish list for a wee while. It's a horror book. It's going to be a great time, and I don't know why, but during summer like I get a proper horror kick, because I think that I just want to like block out the sun and happiness and joy by reading about really horrific, twisted stuff and pretending like it's October already. And then I got Nosferatu by Joe Hill, again another one that has been on my wish list for absolutely ages and gets so much love on BookTube that I can't wait to check out. But like, he's a chunky boy, so I don't know when I'm planning to pick this up. And then this is another one that I bought new, and this is Satan's Burnouts Must Die by David Sodergren. This is his second most recent novel. His most recent is The Har, and this is one that was out just before that, and I can't wait to read it because we know this is basically a David Sodergren hype account at this stage, but I think it'll be great. And then from the Facebook page again, I got into The Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This has been on my wish list for ages, and Sylvie from the TBR Diaries read this last year while she was on a beach, and it's about killer mermaids, which I found hysterical, and she said it was fantastic. And then Jem from Bookish Gems have also mentioned this recently, and aye, it's a mermaid book, it's a horror book. That is like a Venn diagram of books that I am interested in. And then I got Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I have read Sally Rooney's two other books, Normal People and Conversations with Friends. I adored Normal People. I DNF'd Conversations with Friends about halfway through, so we'll see where this one lies for me. I reckon that this will be the decider as to whether or not I will continue to read her books. But I know that it already gets so much love, and Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot loves Sally Rooney's writing. And then I got The Crime Writer by Jill Dawson. Again, another one that has been on my list for absolutely ages. When me and Simon got the vouchers in, I sort of was scrolling to see what had been on my list for a while, so that I could get some of the older ones that I had been looking forward to. And there seems to be a dark and twisty theme, but this one looks great also. Then this one was through the Facebook page, and that is The Coven by Lizzie Fry. I didn't even know what this one was about, to be honest, when I got it, but it was a witchy book, and I dig a witchy book, but this sounds like political witches, which is my bag. And then I got Night Film by Marisha Pessel, and this again is a wee bit of a thriller, but with sort of a cult horror undertones, so it sounds like it could be really, really interesting. Again, I don't remember who it was who was hyping this. I think Jess, Feel Lady Lovestead Reads, maybe really enjoyed this, and I can't remember who else, but I do know that it gets a lot of love, and it just looked absolutely brilliant, so I was really excited to get that one. Again, another chonker. Then I have The Contortionist's Handbook by Crave Clevenger, and I don't really know anything about this book, to be honest. I've never read any other Craig Clevenger works, but Chuck Palahniuk is on the front cover saying, I swear to God, this is the best book I've read in years. And you know, if Chuck Palahniuk likes your books, then I'm fairly confident I'm gonna like your books, so I got this one. And then there's More of Me by Catherine Evans. This is another one that Simon bought for himself that I just thought sounded interesting, and so have also stole for me. And so next up from the Facebook page, I also got Two Boys Kissing by David Leviathan and How They Met and Other Stories by David Leviathan. Now, I haven't read any David Leviathan books, but I do have Every Day, which is a series he has written. I have the first book of that on my shelf, so I'm hoping that I enjoy that so I can read these other ones. But somebody was doing a wee bundle of his books, so I thought I'd take them. And then I got The Quiet at the End of the World by Lauren James, also through that Facebook page. This is sort of like a YA sci-fi love story, which I just thought sounded really cute and really good. And then I got The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, because I know that this gets a lot of hype from people who really enjoyed The Love Hypothesis, and my sister read this and she loved it, so I am excited to check it out. Right, that is the end of the paperback standalones. We can have a break. Seeing as Simon's my health and safety officer said I had to put one in. So I think this might be the biggest category, and that is hardback series. So this is either a series that I have bought in its entirety in hardback, or series that I already collect and I've bought like next instalments. Again, most of it used. I will specify as if anything has been new. So I got this used on eBay, and this is the Silver Chair and the Last Battle Tales of Narnia, and this is to replace the one that I lost when I was a child, which will complete my Narnia books that I recently just got back from my mum and dad's, so I was buzzing to find this. She says as she throws it away. And then, if talk about Twilight a lot on the channel because it was one of my favourite book series when I was growing up as a teen. It was probably one of the series that really got me into sort of the paranormal, supernatural, romancy genre, YA fantasy-ish worlds that I really, really enjoy. And so I wanted to reread the entire Twilight series. So I bought the entire Twilight series, and I managed to get these used on Amazon, the entire box set for 14 quid, which I was absolutely buzzing about. And they're gorgeous books, right? Even if you think that they are crap and like the worst things that have been written in the history of the planet, you can't tell me that they will only look stunning on a shelf. So I am so pleased. And then, because I got those, I decided if I was going to reread them, then that I would also get Midnight Sun. Because I haven't read Midnight Sun yet. I wasn't sure whether I was going to acknowledge it or not. The consensus of people tends to be that this is a bit creepier and like miles too long compared to the Twilight book, which was from Bella's perspective. But I feel like that makes sense because Edward's a bit more a complex character. But I will be interested in rereading these and then reading Midnight Sun. My only question is do I read Midnight Sun right after Twilight so that I can directly compare, or do I reread the entire series and then read Midnight Sun last? I'm also thinking that I am going to vlog my entire experience of rereading these and seeing how I feel about them, rereading them as a grown-ass woman. Then I got the Forever Ship and the Map of Bones by Francesca Haig, and I got these both used on Amazon. These are the second and third books in the Fire Sermon trilogy. Me and Simon have the first one, but we didn't have the rest of the trilogy, so I got these so that we can at one point read that. I then bought the entire Merciless series by Daniel Vega. So this is 4 books. The Merciless 1, 2, 3 and 4. They do have subnames, but they are not on the covers for some reason, so I don't remember what they are at this precise stage. But this is like a wee YA horror series about a group of witches, and I believe like it's a bit demony, it's a wee bit dark and twisty. I don't actually know if these are categorised as YA or if they are just horror, and I don't remember who was talking about these on their channel, but they sounded great and like the exact crossover witchy shenanigans plus horror stuff that I would just absolutely adore. So I added them all to my wish list, and when Simon got the vouchers I just thought, well, fuck it. So I bought all 4 of them. The first book came and it is pretty beat up, like you can tell it has clearly been a library book. It's got stampings and stuff on the pages, so I am going to read them, and then if I really like them I think that I will repurchase this one, because just how beaten up and horrible it is will probably do my head in. The rest of them, although they are used, they are in like good nick, but the covers on these other ones, I mean this one's got like a big bend down the middle, but that never really bothers me too much as long as it's still intact and it's still sturdy. But the material of the last 3 books and the first book is very different. This is like cloth, whereas this is like the corrugated cardboard. So if I really like them, then I might repurchase this one, depending on how much I like it, just because it did come a wee bit beaten up. It bugs me, I know, that the sides sort of are now the same, like the spacing on this isn't then the same as the spacing on the last 3, but like, it is what it is, you know. I then got City of Secrets by Mary Hoffman, which is the 4th book in the Stravaganza series. I didn't have books 2 or 3, I only have book 1, but when I was going through my Amazon wish list to add all of the series that I still needed to complete to my shelves, they didn't have the 4th copy in hardback, and so I was like, well, I don't know what to repurchase everything in paperback. So I had a wee look on eBay and somebody was selling this and shipping it from America at quite a reasonable price, so I just bought it in case I couldn't get that in the future. I then purchased The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearce, again through that Facebook page. This, it looks really, really good. I think that, I'm not going to tell you who I think was talking about this because I actually am not fucking sure. But somebody spoke about this on BookTube and I added it to my wish list because it looked great. So when I saw that somebody was selling it at quite a reasonable price, especially the lovely hardback edition, I was like, right, I'll have it, because if I will not like it, I think Simon will. It's like quite thrillery, but it's supposed to be like really atmospheric and like have a horror-y feel to it, which seems to be a trend in the thrillers that I've been picking up. So we'll see if I like this. This is the first in a duology, I believe, or at least there's another one on Goodreads that is currently out. I don't know if there's going to be more in the series. So I have categorised this in my series category, but I reckon I will treat this as a standalone until I read it and decide if I like it or not. And then Lorena from Sunshine Lorena sent me a belated birthday gift, and she got me 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. And this is just such a beautiful book. It is so gorgeous. And wait till you see the underside. The foiling is just beautiful. Like, oh, look at that. Tell me that isn't just absolutely stunning. I am so excited to get to this. I believe that this is going to be a duology. The second one isn't out yet, but I believe it's coming out either this year or next year. But this gets nothing but love and great hype, and it just looks absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to get to it, so thank you very much again, Lorena. And then I got Much Ado About Nothing by Rejane LaRocca, and I also repurchased A Midsummer Night's Dream by the same author in hardback, so I had a matching set. I read Midsummer Night's Dream earlier this year as part of Middle Grade March and thoroughly enjoyed it. Rejane LaRocca's writing is just phenomenal, and I really liked sort of the fact that it was a twist on the Shakespeare plays. I found that it was really accessible, and the characters were just fantastic. It dealt with really great world issues in a way that was accessible for kids, as well as being thoroughly magical and fun. So I cannot wait to read the sequel. Well, she doesn't directly say this is a sequel. She says it is like a companion novel. It revolves around the same family, and so you get like the same host of characters, but I believe it's just like another sibling in that family's story. It looks great. I've been saying A Midsummer Night's Dream this entire time, haven't I? It's A Midsummer Night's Mayhem. A Midsummer Night's Mayhem. So excited for this. And then through the Facebook group, I bought The Beautiful by Renee Addy. This book gets so much hype, and I know that people really adore it. I basically love any book that is set in New Orleans. I don't know why, but that is just automatically like really spooky and creepy, and I love that vibe. So this is really exciting. This is the first in a series. It just gets so much love, and it's one that has been on my wish list and on my radar for absolutely ages, because it feels just like a book that I am going to love. So I'm surprised I haven't read these yet, but I'm excited for it. And then I also got Lord Olympus. So this is the first volume by Rachel Smythe. This is a webtoon, and I really did love the webtoon, so I am so excited to have this in a big bind up. I believe she also has been given publishing rights for 2, 3 and I think maybe 4 of these bind ups as well, so I will 1000% be collecting them all. They are just brilliant, and they're so cute and lovely, and the artwork is just brilliant, and I love all the colour schemes in it, really relying heavily on the blue and the pink, and it's just gorgeous, and I was so excited to get this. I can't wait to read it. We know I love a Hades and Persephone retelling. It's going to be phenomenal. And then last up, I got Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. I mean, do I need to say anything? Really, everybody is fawning over this book. It's getting so much hype, and I was sort of keeping an eye out for the beautiful Fairy Loot edition to see if anybody was selling that at a slightly reasonable price, and they were not. And I just couldn't wait to read that, so I just bought the standard hardback edition, which is still gorgeous. It is a absolutely beautiful cover, but I believe this is going to be a duology, and the next one is going to be out either later this year or early next year, but I can't wait for it. So last category, these are paperback series, and these are either series that again I have purchased in their entirety, or they are series that I am already currently collecting, I have bought sequels from. The first pile I'm going to talk to you about are all books that I purchased through that Facebook page. Then the second pile I'll talk to you about are all ones that I got used from Amazon, apart from one that I was gifted that I'll tell you about as well. So I got Another Day by David Leviathan, which is the sequel to Every Day by the same author. I got this for the same seller that I got the other two David Leviathans in, so she did me a good wee deal on a bundle. I then purchased the first 3 books in the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. These are not something that I would have automatically have picked up for myself, but they do get a lot of hype, and I think because they're like YA mysteries, maybe I will get on with them better. This is like the original trilogy, and then I know there are some books afterwards, but they revolve around like another mystery, whereas the 3 of these revolve around the one. So I think that I will just read the original 3 to see how I feel before I purchase any more. But again, I got these like for a couple of £2 for the entire trilogy, which I just thought was great and I couldn't pass up. And even if I don't like them, I think that Simon will really enjoy these. Then another trilogy. I got A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer, A Vow So Bold and Deadly, and A Heart So Fierce and Broken. And so that is the entire trilogy, and these are just absolutely stunning. Again, they get, oh, I'm holding them upside down, I'm terrible for that. They get so much love and so much hype on BookTube. I'm really excited to get into them. They seem sort of feel like your classic YA fantasy stories, but with a wee bit of a darker twist, which we know is just me in a nutshell. So I am really excited to read these, and again, like, a couple of £2 for a trilogy. Who's saying no to that? Then I got Fractured by Terry Terry. This is a sequel to Slated, which I also own, and again it's another book that Simon purchased the first one off. So maybe I am not actually that bad. Maybe it's Simon all this time. So this is the sequel to that. There's another one that we need to get before either of us can go on and we can read that series. And then another trilogy that I bought was the Ash Princess trilogy by Laura Sebastian, and so that is the Ash Princess, Lady Smoke and Ember Queen. These again have been on my radar for so long. These are sort of feel like, I don't, like, they're no older, like they're only like as old as Twilight in that, I don't believe, but they are sort of an older series, and I haven't really heard too many people talk about them on BookTube, but they're ones that I've had on my wish list for ages. So again, somebody was selling them for a few £, for the trilogy. I had to have them. We've had a collapse. So I bought On What Grounds by Cleo Coyle, which is the first in the Coffee House Mystery series. This is a cosy mystery, and I have been doing my Out of the Coffin read along with Ange from Angie's Book Chatter, and I have really been loving the cosy mystery vibes that the Suki Stackhouse books have been giving us. So I was asking some of the guys for some recommendations, and this one was recommended to me because I also really like books that feature food. So I believe that this takes place in a coffee house. The person who investigates the cozy mysteries, I think that she owns the coffee house, and I think that this will just be really, really good. Again, I'm only purchasing the first one in a series though, because cozy mysteries usually aren't my thing, so I'll see if I like the first one, and then if I do, I will obviously continue. And in a similar vein, I also got Chocolate Chip Cookie Murders by Joanna Fluke, and these were recommended to me by Gaia Athena because I actually did a video about A Midsummer's Mayhem, which heavily featured around bacon, and also had recipes within that book as well, and it was one of the things that really helped connect me to the main character, was her love of bacon. And so again, this is another cosy mystery series, and they are the Hannah Stevenson mysteries, and these all revolve around a detective who I believe also owns a coffee shop and a bakery, and there are wee recipes in here as well, which I just think is super cute. I'll see if I can find one. Aye, so there's wee recipes in here as well, which I just think is absolutely delightful. And so I, again, thought I would buy the first one in this series to see if I like it or not, because cosy mysteries are not really my thing. But 2 solid recommendations for booktubers that I rely on, so, and I trust their judgment, they know my reading tastes, I'm hoping that I love these. And then Emily from Noelle Novels sent me a belated birthday present, and she sent me The Gilded Ones by Nimona Farana. She thought this book was okay, she didn't love it, but I think it will be much more up my street than it will be hers. And oh, look at these sprayed edges. an absolutely gorgeous colour, and she also sent me a lovely wee bookmark as well to go with it. I can't wait to read this one. Again, I think this is the first in what is going to be a trilogy. I then have The Honours by Tim Clare, which is the first book in a duology. I have 2 copies of the second book, one in hardback because it is signed and gorgeous, and then I recently hauled one in our last charity shop book haul that we did when Ange was up, in a paperback copy so that I could actually read it, and they never released the first one in hardback. Can't find the hardback copy anywhere, so I got one in paperback. And then I have Blue Bloods by Melissa De La Cruz. This wasn't a series that I was planning to collect. I have never read them, but I got the 3rd one in one of my sustainable book boxes, so I decided that I was going to give it a read, and so I had to buy the first 2 books so that I could actually read that. So I have the first 3 in the series now, and I am not going to purchase any more until I have read those 3 to decide whether or not they are something that is for me. And then I have The Archive of the Forgotten by A.J. Hackworth, and this is the second book in the Library of the Unwritten series, and Library of the Unwritten was a 5-star read for me. Read it last year, thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a series that I would like to finish this year, so I thought I'll get the second one and see how we feel about it. I'm a wee bit apprehensive going into this because Becca from the Becca Fowl really enjoyed the first one. She read the second one and she just didn't enjoy it. So I'm a wee bit nervous about going into this. I'm hoping I'm going to love it. And then I have Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. Again, I think this is the first in a trilogy, and I think Covers with Cass spoke about this in a recent video, and I added it to my wish list based on her recommendation. It just looks like it's going to be a fun time. And then lastly, I have The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling, and I didn't realise that this is a series when I purchased it. I thought it was just going to be a wee fun romance standalone that I was going to give a go because I am exploring some romance books. I obviously like a witchy book, so again I thought this might be a really fun one to give a go, but this has been green-lighted for a sequel, so it is technically a series. So thank you for joining my humongous book haul of 65 books. I know that that is excessive, and I will make no promises that this will be my last book haul of the year or that I am now on a book buying ban, because it will only happen and they make me happy and I will read them. So my physical TBR is now at 480 books, but that's still like only the next 5 years worth of books. No, even I guess if you count the second half of this year. So I will get through them. Don't worry about my financial situation, you know, or my apparent addiction. We're good here. We are fine.
I think I can smell shite. Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying everything that you are reading at the moment. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!